8. Jeremy Seewer on 7. These two are going toe-to-toe in that little competition. Fly Racing 15-second board has been up. The gate about to drop here. MXGP race 2, 30 minutes plus 2 laps. A bad jump for Seewer, but it's Fevre and Koldenhoff who duke it out, and Koldenhoff it is who leads through the first turn and crosses the foxhole shot line for the second time this season. Ah, riders down. Was that Prado in there? Seewer was down, one of the riders. We'll have a quick look. Let's go back there if we can. Well, we'll have a look in a minute, but Koldenhoff leads. Prado second. Fevre third. Fernandez fourth. Guillot fifth. No, Seewer in 6th place, or he was in 6th place, but nowhere to be seen here, is he? No, he's not, because it's Mitch Evans who comes into land. And then Ben Watson, Tim Cock, Calvin Vallanderen, Jeremy Van Hoorbeek, and Jeri Havisto, with Osland, Petrov, Dickinson, Sterry, Nico Cock, Tom Cock, Jacoby Spies, and Alberio. Yeah, Ferrato, Lupino, Seewer, possibly riders that went down in that turn 2 melee. But it's the Hoff, Glenn Koldenhoff, who leads the way. We'll get a replay as and when of that second turn. But look at the urgency. Jorge Prado knows he can further extend his championship lead here, but he would also, more than that, like to win his 38th career Grand Prix victory. Watch this here. Seewer in 4th, 5th place. Cuts to the inside. Ferrato alongside him. Those two tag each other. Best of mates. They go down. I mean, come on, guys. Save the loving for later. Lupino right to the back of him as well. And somebody taking a massive shortcut through the inside. I'm sure that'll get looked at and investigated as well. And they are good mates, Jeremy Seewer and Albi Ferrato, but they're going to have to pull themselves through the pack, and they are line astern at the moment. 22nd and 23rd for Ferrato and Seewer. Seewer second in race 1. A lot of work to do now, though, because he's already 20 seconds or more down on these two, who are 2nd and 3rd, Jorge Prado and Romain Fevre. Koldenhoff leading the way. Already has a race win under his belt. Race 2 in Sardinia, round 2. Out of turn 6. Nothing in it between the first 3 riders, really. Just a couple of seconds, so about a second between each. Then Fernandez about 2 seconds further back for Team HRC. Give this race a couple of laps to settle down. They've had their spiked heart rates from the gate drop, the adrenaline rush, pushing hard just to stay out of trouble, try and put some distance, settle things down. They may now, these first 3, just kind of find that line between what's comfortable and what needs to be done. Because Koldenhoff, no, he just needs to maintain a good enough pace to keep Prado at bay at the moment. It's down to Prado to make the first move, or Fevre. And we saw Fevre was keen to work his way to the front. He got into 4th and then fell almost immediately. And that cost him in conditions that were a little bit wetter at the start of race 1. Ferrato, 19th. Seewer already up to 17th. So we need probably to follow that battle, that fight as well, because Seewer will be carving his way through the pack like a knife through butter. So at some stage we might need to just go back and forth, because he's already up to 15th place. And that'll be some fun watching as well, because Jacoby ahead of him in 14th. Be nice to see that fight through the field. Maybe not when he gets to about 8th or so, because everybody tightly packed, so he's going to have to be using some really intelligent racecraft as he fights his way through traffic. And Ferrato, who's a couple places further back. 2 laps complete. Koldenhoff continues to lead, 1.3 seconds over Jorge Prado. Roman Febvre about a second and a half further back. So Glenn Koldenhoff, Monster Energy Yamaha leads Prado on the Red Bull Gas. Kawasaki Racing Team MXGP's Roman Febvre patiently waiting there in third position. Here's Jeremy Seewer. He is up into 13th. He's found his way past Jacoby, and he's now locking his sights on Alvin Osland on the JW Racing Honda. The Swede just ahead of him here. Oh, I just grabbed his leg there as he took off. But you can see the difference, the sense of urgency between the Honda rider and the Yamaha man, who cuts to the outside. He will go around the outside at turn 10 and pick off the Swede at the first opportunity. But Osland just keeping him back there at the moment. And Febvre has been down. He picks himself up just in front of his teammate, Mitch Evans. Evans now in 4th place. Febvre down to 5th. So Evans then finding himself at the sharp end. Mitch Evans round the outside, the Australian, who needs not just a bit of luck, but a lot of luck at the moment. Hasn't broke into the top 10 yet, but here he is, just getting passed there by his teammate, Roman Febvre, who goes by for 4th place. But great to see Mitch fighting this one out. 9th in race 1. Would be 6th overall, if he stays where he is at the very least. And he'll try and latch onto his teammate here as he continues to improve week in, week out. Febvre, number 3, now up into 4th place, about 3-4 seconds down. Watch this here, top of your screen. There you go, left tips over. He was closing in on Prado. Just picks himself up. Not before his teammate had gone through, though. And here he is again. It wasn't this turn, it was the one adjacent to that. Meanwhile, nothing in it between our 2 leaders, Glenn Koldenhoff and Jorge Prado. Prado, fastest lap of the race last time around, a 154.10. Koldenhoff set his best lap as well, 154.4, so 2 or 3 tenths in it between them. But it's Jorge Prado who is just gaining momentum here as we near the end of lap 4. But it's Koldenhoff who still has the advantage over Prado. Working our way towards the end of lap 4. Koldenhoff, Monster Energy Yamaha continues to lead the Red Bull Gas of Jorge Prado. Koldenhoff going after his 2nd race win. Jorge Prado, even if he stays where he is, would still stand on the top step of the podium. Still plenty of racing to go, though. 21.5 minutes plus 2. Here's Seewer. He's found his way past Valandra and moves into 10th place. Up the inside. And a good move that from the 91 as well. Seewer now 10th. Meanwhile, the 226 of Tom Cock is next on the watch list for the 91 of Seewer. Tries to lean on the German, the Cossack KTM rider. But a mistake mid-turn there meant that Seewer just had to find another rut to drop into. He's going with him, look, every step of the way. The 303 on the SM Action USA battery KTM coming into shot now, just on the high line and in the background. And just ahead of these guys, The number 89, the Jerry man, Jeremy Van Horebeke, in for the injured Paul Jonas. What a solid Grand Prix he's having. 8th overall he'll be, as it stands right now. Happy just to circulate, give some airtime for the standing Construct Honda team. But it's Siwa down at turn 2, who's battling his way through traffic. But struggling to find his way past Tom Cock at the moment. This will be for 9th place if he can find his way through. Will he go the long way round in turn 2? Well, he thought about taking the middle, but Tom Cock just ruled him out of the way there. This is where things just kind of interfere with the race, just slowing things down. And Prado gaining. Just under 19.5 minutes plus 2 to go. Jeremy Siwa eventually finds his way into 9th with that move on Tom Cock. And hits the line in 9th, just behind Jeremy Van Horebeke there on the standing Construct Honda. And number 89, as we said a moment ago, in for the injured Paul Jonas, the Latvian. Good points in race 1, in 11th position. He's currently circulating in 8th is the Jerry man on the number 89, but he's got a hard-charging Jeremy Siwa closing in on him. And just a couple riders further back, Alberto Ferrato as well. Meanwhile, Koldenhoff still about 8/10 clear of Jorge Prado at the head of the field, with Fernandez about 8.5 seconds further back in 3rd. Fevre 2 seconds drift in 4th. And Mitch Evans, great ride for him in 5th place. The 2 Kawasaki's line astern. Siwa on the prowl, though, for more positions, more points. Goes the outside of the Belgian. Can't find a way through there, though. This time he will get alongside and jumps past and into 8th place. Just ahead of him, Tim Cock, number 86. Yeah, there are 3 Cocks in this race. Tim, Tom and Nico. All making good starts. All enjoying their home Grand Prix here, the Liqui Moly MXGP of Germany. So the 86 of Tim Cock. Just a couple of seconds further up the track. All of a sudden, Koldenhoff 2 full seconds clear of Prado at the head of the field. And back down to 1.7 as they hit the first sector. So Koldenhoff trying to shake Prado, Prado responding. Meanwhile, Siwa in the top 10, battling hard. The Swiss rider just regrouping here, number 91. Oh, hello. 70-3, Fernandez and Fevre. These 2 now fighting over 3rd place. Just having to readjust my eyes there. Speedy camera work. We are on lap 7. Still plenty of time to run, look, 16.5 minutes. Fernandez solid in race 1, 3rd overall. He's going to be on the podium as it stands right now. On the 3rd step. Fevre just wants to muscle his way around. Fernandez just keeping him to the outside. But all of a sudden, the urgency from Fevre. Can he stay there? Not quite. Fernandez just hanging on to that 3rd position at the moment. Koldenhoff eyeing up 2nd overall at the moment with a 4th and a win if he stays there. Continues to lead the race, of course. But 7 laps complete. Fernandez, Team HRC. 56.4 compared to the 54.8. And Fevre looking to go around the outside. Fernandez sees a green flash, knows it's Febvre waiting to make a move. But where will that move happen? Febvre has been behind now for a couple of laps. And if Fernandez jumps long, Febvre will cut to the inside, try the short route through turn 10, gets alongside, and he's going to have to go the long way around here as well, unless he can put the squeeze on him. But he cuts to the inside. Oh, real cat and mouse stuff between these two. Febvre can't get across because of all the rut slug. Again, he's going to have to go the long way round, and the sun just dropping in the eyes of the riders on this part of the racetrack. And Febvre goes through, takes third from the Spaniard. Took him a few laps to get there, but finally on lap 8, Febvre goes through. Now he has clear track, but unfortunately he's got 10 seconds to make up to Jorge Prado, who is still hovering around a second and a half behind the race leader, Glenn Koldenoff. Meanwhile, Siwa has cleared Van Horebeek. He's up in the 7th place, 8.5 seconds behind Ben Watson. What a ride for Ben Watson. So lap 8 about to come to an end with 14 minutes to go. And he's already broken free from Ruben Fernandez. Fernandez just saying, you know what, happy just to get through this one this weekend if I can. If he can do it with a podium, that'll be fantastic. It'll be his third podium of the year as well. Right, here is Jorge Prado. Watch this here. Oh, is he jumping long? Whoa, landed in a hole the other side there. Lucky for the Spaniard. Sucks it up and goes again. Still within a couple of seconds of the race leader. Right. We've got a cockfight going on down here. 10th place. Tom Cock has found his way past brother Tim. Guillot is up into 15th. Jacoby down to 16th. Here's Ben Watson, the MRT beta, his teammate Lupino out in the second turn after getting caught up with Ferrato and Siwa. But Ben Watson, 9.19 on that factory beta. Arrived here, 16th in the championship. Got a 10th place finish in race 2 in Switzerland. That was his first top 10 result. 4 DNFs, 4 no scores in a row in Spain and France. 11th in race 1 in Latvia. And didn't make it through the first turn in race 2. But great to see the former MX2 Grand Prix winner fighting here in Germany. And he's got about 7 seconds over Siwa. Siwa a couple seconds quicker, though. But this is the kind of result that he and the team need, because even Lupino, with one top 10 finish, 9th in race 2, Latvia last time out. So to say this is a factory bike, yes, it's in his 3rd year. But a great advert for the MRT team and Beta. That's the gap between him and Siwa. Right. What were the splits between Watson and Siwa? 34, 33 in Sector 2, 25, 24, Sector 3. So Siwa is closing. The gap down to 6.4 seconds at the moment. After Siwa set his fastest lap last time around in the 55s. He needs positions, he needs passes. He needs at least 2 to get himself onto the podium. 3 maybe, because Fernandez there on 38, Siwa on 36 points. And time is ticking away. Time is not a luxury for Siwa. But you never know. 11 minutes plus 2 is a long time in MXGP. But he's still looking good at the moment, recovering well to 7th after that first turn fall. Just under 11 minutes to go. Jeremy Siwa has now finally broken free from Albi Ferrato, the SM Action US, the battery gas KTM rider, lurking in 8th place, but now 5 seconds adrift of the number 91 from Switzerland. The gap between Watson and Siwa now 4.7 seconds, so he may take a couple of laps to get himself onto the rear wheel of the Brit. But then who else is up the track? Evans, about 12 seconds further up. So going to be interesting to see whether Seewer can pull this off here. There's Watson, just over the Liqui Moly Mountain. And you see how the circuit is drying out. Hard and slick and edgy. That's the part of the racetrack that caught out Hurlings in race 1. Bad luck for the Bullet once again. Still no news as to his condition. But there were reports. I was talking to Harry Norton during the break, and he said, yeah, just all the right side, you know, sort of like from the head, the neck, down through the shoulder, the back. So he was in the medical centre for quite some time. So he'll get checked out here on site before heading back to further observations, I'm sure, with his own trusted advisors and doctors. But a big blow to Jeffrey Hurling's championship chase for a 6th world title here at round 9. Jeremy Seewer now in 7th place. So Jeremy Seewer here, what a ride he is having. He's closing in now on Ben Watson. So 9 minutes plus 2 to go here. MXGP race 2, Jeremy Seewer up to 7th. This is his race so far. Just to the inside look, in white and the red boots. He cross-struts, Albi Ferrato runs into the back of him, and then Lupino. And since then, he's been carving his way through traffic. This pass on Kevin Verlanderen got him up into 10th place. He then eventually found his way past Tom Koch. And then Jeremy Van Horbik to move into 8th. And he's now up into 7th. Chasing Ben Watson. We said it'd be a couple of laps, and right on cue, he's all over the back of the 919 on the MRT Beta. And his teammate, Glenn Koldenoff, what a race he's having at the moment. 2.2 seconds clear of Jorge Prado as he goes in search of his 2nd race win of the season. And here's what happened at the start. Gate about 6 or 7 over. The 259, Glenn Koldenoff, Monster Energy Yamaha around the outside of Roman Fevre to pull the foxhole shot for the 2nd time this year, and he continues to lead by about 2 seconds. Seewer eyes on Ben Watson, the MRT Racing Beta. Just happy to be inside the top 10. But Seewer going after Watson. This will be for 6th position if he can sneak up the inside. Watson knows he's there. To the left. To the left. Trees, he does it. Oh, here we go. He's found his way by. That was a fantastic move on Seewer, wasn't it? So Jeremy Seewer launches past Ben Watson into 6th position. He now has clear track once again. Right, Watson, how far has he got? He's got about 4.5 seconds back to Albi Ferrato. Those two, yeah, I was going to say similar lap times, but Ferrato just a little bit quicker, so Watson could drop down to 8th, but that would still be a good finish for that factory team. Right, Seewer has about 10 seconds. That's a big ask to close in on Mitch Evans, because Evans in the 57s, almost 58s. Seewer 56s, almost 55s. But with 6 minutes plus 2 to go, depends on 2 things: the stamina of both riders, whether Seewer can keep pushing, or whether Mitch Evans, who was a little bit ring rusty when he came back, can believe in himself and believe that he belongs there in that 5th place on the number 43 Kawasaki. Here's Fernandez. He's about 4 seconds clear of the Kawasaki rider, Mitch Evans. Fernandez eyeing up 3rd overall. Take a look at the podium standings, shall we? Here is Mitch Evans, first of all. great just to see him back there. Great to see him back on screen as well. Things finally clicking for the Aussie. Been a very difficult campaign for him. Missed the first 4 rounds due to a persistent thumb injury that he picked up just before the start of the season. May have tweaked it again a week ago in Latvia, but he's just riding around all of his issues at the moment. Hopefully things will settle down for him. But great to see the 43 up there doing just that and battling on. And it'll put a smile on the face of Antti Pirinen as well, because 3rd and 5th for both the Kawasaki Racing Team guys. Kawasaki Racing Team MXGP. Here is Fevre. Right, Fevre, 9 seconds adrift. Right, this was Fevre, took the look to the left. This is when he was in 3rd early on. Just came up short and then folded the front, picked himself up just behind his teammate, and then eventually found his way back past for 4th, and he's now into 3rd, having passed Ruben Fernandez. But Jorge Prado is on the prowl. He just set the fastest lap of the race, a 1:53.9 compared to a 54.3 of Glenn Koldenoff. Is the Hoff's lead at threat here in the final 4 minutes plus 2 laps? Sector 1 identical through that turn there, 26.52, 26.56. There they are in the top right corner, just over the Monster Energy jump, coming back in the opposite direction. Practice face of Jorge Prado there from Glenn Koldenoff as the roost off the rear wheel, right in the face. Watch this, right in the face. Unperturbed though. That was nice from Prado, wheeling through that kicker and gaining on the Dutchman. This is going to be a long 3 minutes or so for the Hoff. And he makes a mistake there, and that'll play into the hands of Prado. No time to look back, but that's not Koldenoff's game either. Keeps his eyes fully focused on the job at hand. But Prado closer than he has been all race. See the 2 different line choices there, outside or jump onto the start straight as you cross back at 45 degrees. And he knows he's under threat here. 2.5 minutes plus 2 to go. Who will win race 2? Will it be Koldenoff or Prado? Nothing in it as they hit the line at the end of lap 14. And Prado looking desperate. He was quick around here in race 1. Will he be equally effective in race 2? Not quite this time around. Two minutes plus 2 to go. And the annoying thing here now, traffic for both riders. Neatly done. Prado cuts to the inside. He's got traffic ahead of him though. The Hoff on his feet. Fevre 14 seconds further back. In 3rd, we are watching a direct shootout here between 1st and 2nd. It won't affect the overall outcome, but for Prado, it'll be a 1-1 for the first time this year to win the Grand Prix. It'll be his 2nd Grand Prix win of the season, win number 38. And he wants that desperately. Koldenoff responding to the threat from behind as they work their way towards the end of lap 15. Just over 5 corners time. Seawer is up to 6, Ferrato 7, Watson is down to 8, just ahead of Van Horebeke. Tom Cock in 10th place, ahead of Valandren. But all eyes on this battle here. Look at the ruts from above there. That's downhill, it's steep, it's choppy, and then you've just got that other little plateau that you drop down as well, just to unsettle the balance of the bike even more before they turn right and then across that start straight. The gap was 0.8 at the last split. It's still 0.8 exactly as we enter lap 16. Koldenhoff continues to lead. The 3-lap board goes out next time around. And Jeremy Seewer is now up in the 5th place. He has moved past Mitch Evans. Mitch Evans now in 6th place. Again, Koldenhoff goes wide. Will he get caught out this time, though? He makes a mistake. He runs too wide. And Prado takes over the lead just at the top of the hill. He tried to outfox Koldenhoff a lap ago by going short and to the inside. Koldenhoff went to the outside, got it inch perfect a lap ago. But this time around, as you'll see from the replay, Koldenhoff just made a slight mistake. This will still keep him on the podium 2nd overall, but he will be denied his 2nd race win. Or will he? Because Prado, the rabbit in the hat, will he continue to push on here and just build a gap? I'm sure we'll have a look at that in the same part of the racetrack, but Prado leads, finally. So Koldenhoff had a very long time at the head of the field, 15 laps, but on lap 16, Prado finally broke down the armour. Watch how he did it. Koldenhoff goes long, nothing wrong with that, exactly the same as it was a lap ago, but watch to the outside now, just overran, had to correct, and that was the difference, and that was the pass right there. And this was Seewer on Evans. This was for 5th place. It's been a hard ride through the field for the 91. Well, Fernandez and Seewer tied on the podium at the moment, 38 points apiece. So for Seewer, he is 7 seconds behind Fernandez with 2 to go. He may just miss out on the podium. Here he is. Over the line into the penultimate lap for number 91. Jeremy Seewer. Ruben Fernandez will be coming in the opposite direction. There he is, opposite jumps. So that's the gap. Oop, just a loss of balance there, ever so slightly. Didn't cost him too much time. Just had to rein it back a little bit. But he won't give up, will he? Seewer. The team will be pushing him on. Right, Fernandez, bottom of your screen. And then top of the hill, Jeremy Seewer, 2nd rider in shot, 1st rider in shot. There he is, dropping in now into that turn. So that's what 7 seconds looks like between these two. Oh, backhand, oh, a mistake! And he stalls the engine. Wow, that might be a gift for Seewer. So he's going to have to regroup. There's the first mistake he's made all race. But will it cost him 4th in the race and 3rd overall in the Grand Prix? Because all of a sudden, we have a battle on here for 3rd overall between these two, Fernandez and Seewer. Sterry in the points in 17th, Kevin Brumman 18th, Jacoby 19th, Ashton Dickinson in the points as well in 20th place. So, working their way towards the end of this penultimate. Seewer has closed right in, but it's that same old thing, isn't it? It's one thing to catch. It's another thing entirely to find your way by and make that pass and make it stick. Fernandez will roll his sleeves up and dig in deep on this final lap. And he'll be kicking himself because of that mistake. Prado now 6 seconds clear of Koldenhoff. Fevre out on his own on 3rd, but these two, well, it's about to get feisty between the 70 and the 91. What a great ride through the field, though, for Jeremy Seewer. He went down, Ferrato hit him, Lupino ran into the back of those two. Picked themselves up in, what, 29th, 30th place. And for Jeremy Seewer, he's just kept on pushing and pushing. He got a little bit of help there with a mistake. Not this corner, but the one across from here. A lap ago, when Fernandez just bodged it. But Fernandez has recovered well and composed himself. Holds a tighter line this time around. We'll see, we're just run out of time. Is there going to be one last push from the Monster Energy Yamaha rider? We'll see, deny. Well, meanwhile, Jorge Prado celebrates past pit lane. It's going to be Grand Prix victory number 38 in perfect fashion here in Germany. He goes 1-1. He wins the Liqui-Moly MXGP of Germany. And it's a 1-1 for the first time this year. Glenn Coldenoff, he would have loved to have won race 2.